I remember she had told us about an interest that she had in him. Knew him for about a year. She was proud of the fact that Juan was an airman, that he was in the Air Force. My father's a colonel in the Air Force.
Being around Juan in the car show community kind of just levels you up and you have more status being around him, or if he messes with you, then you're good. And maybe that's kind of what drawn Leilani to him.
The first time we hung out, he seemed cool, but I will say, he definitely thought he was the shit. I definitely got the womanizer impression. It just rubbed me up wrong, The cockiness, it's calm down, you're not all that. But I respected that Leilani was in control of the situation. She knew what she wanted. She knew what she didn't want.
And what Leilani appears to want with Juan in May of 2021 is to be his passenger princess, while at the same time, keeping things casual.
It was more because of her last relationship she was in was about 2.5 years. And she finally decided she was done. She's in college. She's not ready to jump into a serious relationship right away. She just wasn't ready to commit just yet. That's kind of what she told me. She said, I like him, but I'm still young. I'm still doing my thing in college. I don't think I'm ready to be in a committed relationship with him yet. And I said, okay, just take your time.
We all kind of knew they were, together. But it's not like I seen him as a future husband.
And that's a good thing. Because after a few months of casual dating, Leilani snoops on Juan's socials and makes a startling discovery.
Leilani found out that Juan, he has a whole wife in Texas.
What?
No, bye.
To my understanding, Juan was not fully divorced, but in the process of getting a divorce with a woman that lived in Texas. So he, although not with this woman anymore, was maybe legally still with her.
I do know that he did move back from Texas or come from Texas prior to them getting together. But we didn't know, what's going on with most of these guys' lives. If they have another side chick on the side or 5 side chicks on the side, we didn't know that. It was never really anything like that we took seriously. She had talked to him a couple times about it, and Juan said it's not a big deal. But Leilani did, vent to me multiple times about how she doesn't really trust him, but she wasn't looking for a serious relationship.
The whole situation with the ex is messy in itself. I mean, he is messy.
I just told Leilani, I love you and I care about you, but I don't think this is the right way. But who am I to tell you what to do? You're a grown woman.
For now, Leilani is fine just going with the flow. But in October of 2021, roughly 6 months into their situationship, she finds out that not all Juan's exes live in Texas.
It was kind of just like any other time, she was just going to Sideshow with her friends and Juan was there. She got in the car with Juan and another one of our friends was in the driver's seat. She was sitting in the car with Juan and some girl opened up the door and was screaming, going,
Hey.
going on. She had told her to get the fuck out, pulling on the door handle and saying to get out the car.
Leilani is not a physical fighter. She's never been that way. But she absolutely did not like screaming and yelling.
I think it was happening so fast. This girl was right in her face.
You can't really predict, Anyone can do anything. Lonnie was like, who the f is you talking to? We can really make this happen. We can squabble up, but you're not finna play with me in front of my friend.
During that incident, it's to my understanding that Juan doesn't get involved. So it didn't seem like he had any input in that argument at all.
The only reason no fight broke out or anything like that is because the guy that was driving was like, no, this is my car. Like, she can be in here. She's my friend too. Like, it's my car. It wasn't even Juan's car. So that was the only reason why nothing escalated, was because it kind of got shut down at that point. But that's also when it clicked in Leilani's mind. Oh, this is the same girl that I saw at a party hit some girl in the head with the bottle. She didn't know her name at the time, but now we know it was Jessica.
As in Jessica Quintanilla, that 24-year-old sideshow OG who's been casting shady eyes at Leilani and her crew since they stepped on the scene.
I learned that there was a relationship between Jessica and Juan. And from my understanding, she was dating him before Leilani for less than a month, off and on. They were not very serious at all. And every time her and Juan had a breakup, he's talking to other females, whether it's Leilani or anybody else.
I just know that Leilani was kind of like, that was really like weird. And why would she care? They're exes. And like, you move on, you go on with life after that. Maybe Juan was Jessica's escape because he had a nice car and a status in the community.
Juan had made a name for himself. He was a very well-known car guy. So I don't know if Jessica really did like him out of all the 30 million guys she was talking to at the time. I don't know, but jealousy thing, I guess I see where it could come in at, especially from older people.
Girls like Jessica, it's like, how crazy and delusional are you? You feel me? Like, girl, please. There's 7 billion men in this world, and you worried about this little old fish? Why? You know.
That's when Leilani decides that the juice from Juan's status isn't worth the squeeze.
After that situation, Leilani definitely wanted to keep her distance a little bit.
But Juan isn't exactly used to being ignored.
He definitely was contacting Leilani more than he usually would, asking how she's doing. Like, maybe he could see that she's kind of pulling away from him, and that made him want to pull more, realizing that she's not as interested as maybe she once was.
I remember Leilani messaged me saying, "Oh, I'm going to go to my friend Sarah's house for Halloween this weekend." And she was asking for a little bit of extra money to support her with her costumes.
Leilani was definitely excited about Halloween. I wore this dress that had a skeleton on it, and then the night that we went out, she was like a SWAT or something like that. She had a SWAT outfit on. We had like a list of like 10 parties we wanted to go to in like one night. Don't even know what the heck we were thinking. We met at this first party. Sarah and Leilani were with each other. And we were there at the second house when Juan had showed up. He wasn't by himself. He showed up with somebody. I don't know who he was with. It was a taller guy.
Damian Ponders is Juan Peralta's friend. They're inseparable. They're both active duty enlisted service members at Travis Air Force Base. And they consider each other best friends, so much so where Juan has Damian's name tattooed on him. I have a lot of close friends. Not one of their names is tattooed on me. So that's how close they are. Juan and Damian do everything together.
So Juan and his friend showed up, and me, Leilani, Sarah, we were already in our own little group together. We were drinking that night. When you're 19, you know, your hormones are also everywhere. After a while, she was like, okay, I'm gonna go meet with Juan. I'm gonna go get some. I'm like, period, bitch. Like, you know, like, okay. Women are like men. Men are like women. Hate to say it, but like, her intentions weren't going on boyfriend, girlfriend, or Like, you know, it was just supposed to be like just a one night thing again. I just told her have fun, love you, be safe. Let me know when you get there, and then that was pretty much it.
It was like 3 in the morning at the point. I was a little worried because Juan lives in Fairfield, and that's about 45 minutes from my house. But I had her location, so you know, I wasn't too worried when she had left in their car. She texted me when she got there that everything is good. She texted me again towards the morning, just saying that she can't sleep. She was kind of over it being with him at that point. She had Snapchatted me the picture of him next to her. And she's like, okay, I just want to leave. Like, I kind of want to wake him up and have him take me home. I was like, well, then wake him up so that you can come over and he can drop you off. And at that point, she told me, okay, well, I'm going to try to go to sleep. Mm. 8:30 in the morning. It was like an hour or and a half or something since we last talked. I was asleep at this point. She had FaceTime me. I just heard arguing on the phone. And she was like whispering on the phone with me saying that some girl was there. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? Like, who? I kept trying to ask her questions and ask her things. And she wasn't saying anything. And it sounded like she was like hiding or something. I remember she said, I'll call you back. And it just hung up fast. Something is not right.
I messaged Leilani in the morning, and she hadn't messaged me yet. And I figured, oh, she must have gotten really tired or had a lot of fun that night. And I want to say I started to kind of wonder a little bit, maybe around 11, 12 o'clock. Normally by then, it doesn't matter how late she was up the night before, she would still find a way to get up. Around 1 o'clock, 1:30, I messaged her finally, thinking, okay, it's late enough. Didn't hear from her. This isn't like her. Leilani was always super communicative. I was able to get all the numbers within the last 24, 48 hours that she was in communication with.
I woke up to Violet, Leilani's mom. Like, have you heard from Leilani? I've seen you in the last text messages. That's when I got that sick feeling in my stomach. Something was off. And then I texted her back and I was like, I haven't.
Her mom also sent me a text. She's like, Leilani's missing, this and that. I'm like, what the heck? Like, why would my best friend be missing?
Her mom's saying that she's not responding, her location is off, no one's texts are going through, and so we're all freaking out. Everything was running through my head. Did her phone die? Did she run away? Did she get arrested? Like, I don't know.
I messaged every single one of them with, do you know where Leilani is? You're the last person she talked to. Everybody messaged me back except for one number. And it turned out to be the number of the person that she was spending the night with. I don't remember who I heard it from exactly, but there were several people that were trying to get a hold of Juan and they couldn't. So he was missing too.
When Leilani's mom reaches Sarah, she tells her all about their FaceTime earlier that morning.
I felt responsible that I saw her last. Her car is still at my house. Like, her bags are still at my house. Everything that she brought for the weekend that we were supposed to spend together is still at my house. And then coming like 4 p.m., the sun's going down now. Now I'm just like, for sure, something's wrong.
And after speaking with Leilani's mom, Sarah realizes it's time to take action.
And that's when I call the police to do a missing persons report on her.
Just that girl, I'm telling you. That girl did some.
I got called out to investigate on October 31st on Halloween. I was told that there was a missing persons case that had some level of suspicion to it. I begin by contacting the last known people that the person was with. Sarah knows that Leilani ended up at Juan's house. There's no question about that.
I got the address. I called back for free to get the address of his house.
Juan lives off base. He lives in a house that's not affiliated with the military. So I have detectives at the house.
No one answers. But from outside, police get a big whiff of probable cause.
The detectives, they smell bleach. It was overpowering. When they enter Juan's house, they see what they believe to be as blood in the hallway leading up to the bedroom, as well as the stairs leading to the garage. They see a hole in the wall in the bedroom that belongs to Juan. So based off the evidence that was seen even to the naked eye by detectives, it was the assumption that Juan's bedroom was a crime scene. During that time, I was calling Juan and Leilani and leaving voicemails. We were flagging license plates. We were trying to backtrack video cameras in the city, making countless phone calls to anybody and everybody we could.
As detectives work frantically to track down Juan and
Damn, I
Leilani,
should have got some razors.
they get more desperate by the minute.
I'm making posts, pictures, videos that I had from us the night before what she was last seen and wearing in. I just kept posting. It's really all I can remember doing. And then just constantly checking in with Violet if we heard anything yet from anybody.
I was on and off the phone with police literally all night, calling them with anything I could find. I was obviously very nervous and scared trying to find her. I couldn't get any sleep.
Leilani left that party with Juan and Damien, active duty airmen at the Travis Air Force Base. Damien lives on base, so that's where I went first because I knew the first human to human interaction I could have was with Damien Ponders. I speak to Damien, and as part of most missing persons cases, we asked, what were you guys doing? Do you know Leilani and Juan's location? Just your general questions. And you tell he was more than just nervous. He had something to say. And I even threw out there, even if they're dead, just let me know what they are. It's a question that I asked just to kind of see a reaction. And it was almost unbelievable what his reaction was. I've worked many missing persons cases, both on patrol and as a detective. Asking that question, I've never got that response. And it made my heart sink.
What'd he say? See, they don't be saying the good shit.
So, speaking with Damien, he did a big gulp. His hands were just dripping sweat. I've never seen that. But I wasn't thinking he was going to say what ended up coming out in the case. The way Damien describes it is that morning, Juan called him and asked him to go to Walmart and pick up various cleaning supplies and an air mattress because his mattress is going to be disposed of.
And Damien isn't one to ever question Juan's orders.
I don't know what Damien was thinking, but his allegiance with Juan is that when Juan needs something, I just do it.
They boyfriends and boyfriends.
Damien goes to Walmart and buys the items that were requested. He eventually shows up back at the house.
And that's where Damien learns the terrible truth of what happened that morning.
Juan tells Damien Leilani Beecham is dead, that she was killed, and that her body was removed from the house.
It's now all hands on deck to track down Juan and find Leilani's body.
Because Juan is a service member. I knew that his command can order him to come to base. So we worked with his command, and I was calling Juan and just trying to get him to come in. And through my voicemails and his command reaching out to him, they ordered him to come back to base. That's where Juan drives to the Travis Air Force Base from wherever he was at. When I walked in the room, I don't know if maybe he saw my demeanor. Maybe there was a sense of confidence, but Juan knew that Damien told us what happened. And he essentially goes, I know you know everything, so I might as well tell the truth now. States that morning when Leilani are in bed. It's at that time when Juan's ex-girlfriend shows up at the house.
Juan then tells investigators that girl is the same one who confronted Leilani just a few weeks before. Sideshow OG, Jessica Quintanilla.
Jessica enters the house. She lets her